Hey everybody,
We're live.
how's it going? We're gonna give just a minute or two to see who jumps on with us. So
So we're live in our Lionsgate event healing that occurred on Saturday, August 8th. And Joseph here is going to do a little recap of the event for you and give you some integration tips moving forward.
yeah, so we had a beautiful event, and we had so many people attend. There's hundreds of people who were joined together in this group healing, but also we had a really nice talk on the energy of the times, what's going on with Lionsgate, what we can expect with receiving this type of spiritual catalyst energy. And it was just a really nice time, a lot of questions, a lot of answers, and just a really beautiful conversation with everyone. So really excited that we had the chance to provide this event and give back to the community, if you will. So
We slept for a full, 12 hours after that event?
yeah,
Yeah.
we were in bed for a long time the next day because it takes so much energy to just produce all of what we're trying to do, but also behind the scenes, like being able to hold space for that many people energetically definitely takes its toll.
We're also
So-
receiving those healing energies too at the same time, which is there's a lot of integration and sleep helps with that also.
Yeah,
I'm going to go help out on the admin side of things and leave Joseph to it. So
Yeah.
it's great to see you guys. Hi, Fally. A couple others are joining, and we'll be live in some other groups too shortly.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks. All right. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to talk about just a few integration tips for what to do after you receive this type of spiritual catalyst energy, because there are a few people who had, quite a powerful session, and we didn't want to just leave everyone hanging when you have this type of energy moving through you for, if not hours after, for days after. So we wanted to give some ideas like, this is what you should do. This is what will help you balance out and allow this energy to settle a little easier. Honestly, the restless energy. So the comment, this energy is keeping me restless. Deep breathing, nice. Yes, breathing is very important. And the restlessness was actually a theme that I noticed that began when I first felt this expansionary energy hit us, which was the last week of July, which I remember specifically was July 25th. And when I felt that energy hit me in the meditation, everything was beautiful, everything was just flowing nicely. But when you receive this high-powered energy, it takes time for it to filter down to your earthly behaviors, your thinking body, your emotional body, your sense of security. So there is a lag time that happens when you receive that type of energy. And for a theme of this was that a lot of almost anxious energy that would just kind of get stuck in your mental body, and you'd have this inexplicable anxiety that didn't seem to have any type of root cause. And that's a part of the energy of the times, and what this spiritual catalyst energy is trying to help us unwind in the area in which it's getting blocked. And for a lot of us, it was the anxiety, it was restlessness, and feeling that kind of charged up type of energy. Hey Pamela, good evening to you. Jacina, how are you? Good evening. Nice to see you all. Yeah, so a couple other tips for getting ourselves rebalanced, getting ourselves in a better state, to heal faster from this. So first of all, when we receive this energy, we obviously want to rest a lot. As we mentioned, we were probably in bed for a good 10 hours the day after, and just we needed that rest. It was deep sleep, and the body really needed it. So after that, definitely limit yourself from the electronics. That's one of the biggest things. And that restless energy, that anxiety energy, I remember feeling that spark up, the longer I was staring at my phone. There's something about engaging with that part of your brain after you receive. It almost puts a little bit too much pressure on that particular system. So reducing the screen time is very important, very important. Ears ringing. I actually have tinnitus. I've had it for a few years. And when I would get the high-pitched frequencies in the ear, I wouldn't necessarily, so I would get those high-pitched frequencies, and I would tune into them, and then I'd begin to feel some type of sensory stimulation. But over time, I actually developed tinnitus, and I was mistaking the tinnitus feeling for, an extra sensory, but I knew something just didn't add up. There was a part of me that knew something wasn't right. So I let that go, and I was like, okay, I can't trust that part of my sensory right now, so I'm just going to let it go and trust and have faith in my other sensory to compensate or to give me the necessary information or feedback that I was missing from there. But someone else had a comment on the ear ringing too, and so I want to tell you a trick that will work for some people. It's if you take the palm of your hand and you put it flat on a table, and you take your index finger and you smash it down like that, like really hard with a lot of force, it'll make a noise if you can hear that. And if you take that and you do that on the back of your head, cup your ears and flick really hard with both fingers on the back of your neck, like 30 times, like decently hard, that is said to help some people with tinnitus. It helps me every now and again, so give that a try, and if it clears up, then you know what the ear ringing is from. So anyways, moving on, other ways to help balance. Getting out in nature is so important. For many of us, we're in a lot of air conditioning spaces, and that really does take away from our natural rhythm of Mother Nature, of being with the seasons, feeling the change of atmosphere, the pressures, feeling the moisture in the air, feeling the wind on your skin. This is giving you so much sensory, so much information. Imagine if you were out in the plains reading this information. The elements are continually speaking with you all the time. It's just we have literally silenced that part of our sensory out. And so getting out, even though it's hot out, it's uncomfortable, it's good for us. We're in this part of the world where, it's natural for us. Every year it gets hot, the winter gets cold, so your body gets used to that. So other things that will help the restlessness, the mental light, magnesium supplements, definitely check out some of that, but also Epsom salt, shower scrubs, and baths. I don't have a lot of time to take a bath, so I'll just take a couple handfuls and I'll just use that to scrub my body, and definitely scrub a little bit more than usual because it does take some to get in there. So next thing moving forward is, let's see here, had a couple of notes. Look at all that care. Yeah, got some angry vibes over here. Oh no. Yeah, you're exhausted, had lucid dreams. Yeah, lucid dreaming, big time dreamer. Lucid dreaming was actually how I had my spiritual awakening. So lucid dreaming, always trust your dreams. If you don't trust your dreams, begin to get into a habit of trusting them. And if you don't understand how to interpret the symbolism behind your dreams, just let it go. Don't worry about what is happening. Just focus on how you feel. Focus on the emotions behind the imagery. That's what you want to focus on with the lucid dreaming. So if you're not practicing lucid dreaming yet, you definitely should. And another thing I wanted to speak on is, so pay attention to your needs. They're going to change throughout the times. They're going to change as we move forward, get into September, getting closer to these fall energies. As I said, get back more into nature. Learn some pressure points. I've actually had a lot of beautiful results with learning pressure points, learning Chinese medicine. It's very complex, but you can just memorize the top, let's say 15 points of the body, and you can do a lot of positive work with that. So highly recommend, especially this one here. This one, I believe it's called Joining River, but it's large intestine 4, I believe. It's the one everyone knows. It's behind your thumb right here, but it's actually a little bit up on your thumb, not just in the middle. Most people think it's like right in the middle, but it's not. It's actually, you see this little mound and you go up just a little bit. Learn the pressure points. They have helped me tremendously. So another thing I wanted to talk on was pay attention to your needs. Your needs are going to change as time moves forward. Focused on what you're feeling in the moment and what that feeling is trying to communicate with you. You know, because we all have a purpose. We're all trying to find a purpose in life. But when you find your purpose, it's nothing that takes force, because many of us are confused in life. We don't know which direction. We have uncertainty about the choices we're making. But your purpose isn't anything that takes effort. It's something that is ingrained into your existence. It's intertwined with your natural rhythm of life. So your purpose is right there. It's always on the surface and takes no extreme force to bring out. But your purpose is what gives you meaning. It's what makes your life more valuable, gives you more of an experience. So find your purpose. It's always pulling you forward, but it's nothing that should take force to bring out. It's as simple as what brings you excitement. It's as simple as where you find happiness. These are the leads. These are the main magnetism that brings forward your own evolution. You know, happiness is something that's related to our emotional body. Happiness isn't something that everyone has, because we're so full of shame, guilt, embarrassment, depression, apathy. All of those aspects take away your ability to feel happy. So when you're trying to find your purpose, many of us can't find our purpose because we don't feel good. We don't feel happy. So in order to feel happy, you need to figure out what's making you feel not okay. And the biggest imbalances that you can try to address is that depression. What is causing you to not accept yourself? What's causing you to talk bad about yourself? You know, these are the imbalances and the distortions of that energy that literally just strip away parts of your ability to feel happy. So when you're thinking about your purpose, you have a natural inclination towards an excitement, towards a desire. That's what you do. Keep it simple. You don't have to complicate your existence with all the ambiguity that you're being fed through culture. You have a natural pull and gravity towards what's going to give you literally the most joy possible on earth for your experience. So continue, for a lot of us, joy it's one of the best emotions for being alive. You know, this isn't the dimension where we need all the wisdom to succeed. It's not about that. It's about having joy, having love. It's about a more grounded approach to your spiritual embodiment. And joy is one of the most valuable emotions that you can find and that you can have. So do activities, find behaviors that will yield that emotion. And I was getting guidance when I was meditating about, the things I wanted to say for this, and try to devise opportunities to become more childlike. Because many of us who are fortunate enough to have a traditional or happy childhood, that's where the most of our joy exists. It exists in that childlike mentality, that innocent curiosity that drives the child forward without fear, without knowing, just pure innocence to explore. Those are the emotions that everyone has. Everyone has that perception, but it's buried away. It's buried away in all the stress of growing up, all the stress of your life, and it's just piled on top of that. But it still exists in its perfected form. But it will take meditation, it will take effort to get that energy out of you, to find that inner child. And a lot of healing is focused on healing the inner child. So continue with that. Hi Mindy, how are you? Hello everyone. See and checking the comments real quick before we continue on. I'm glad, just seeing it, definitely glad it's starting to subside, normalize a little, that's nice. Definitely takes some time to get adjusted with all this energy. So, yes, moving forward, become more childlike. These are all things that are going to help us integrate this energy of the times a little easier. Along with the first things you want to do is take care of your physical body, take care of your immediate mental needs, and then devise opportunities to bring joy into your life. To bring joy into your life is how you commune with the divine. To be joyous is to be divine. Joy is a privilege that encapsulates the divine. So that's directly coming from our higher power through all the harmonic consciousness. Be joyful. That is how you commune with them. Another thing that will help with this integration, or when energy if we get too restless throughout the day, if we have anxiety, is to integrate more free movement into your everyday life. How static is our behavior on a typical day? Just sitting for long periods of time. Even weightlifting, it's very static. It's just up, down, point A to point B. So when you begin to integrate free movement, any type of dance, Tai Chi, something along that lines, that's when you begin to integrate more of the water element, a free flowing energy. And man, let's see, that's an issue with a lot of individuals in spiritualities. They just want to go straight into meditation or straight into yoga. Yoga helps too, but it still lacks a little bit of fluid movement. So dance around, get that energy moving, get free flowing, formless, intuitive body movement. It's like it helps iron out the patches of energy that gets stuck, especially doing any type of movements of the belly. There's a lot of there's a couple Kundalini movements where you just kind of rock your hips when you're sitting. But if you were to integrate that into some form of dancing movement, it'd be much, much more beneficial than just a static movement sitting on the ground. So that's something that is very, very helpful. And of course, you're going to help burn off a lot of restless energy. So if you haven't learned about free movement or that type of dancing style, I actually know a really good dancer, and I'll see if I can tag her in the comments, because she taught me how to dance, and it was a beautiful experience, and I have been dancing ever since that experience. And I do remember feeling a lot of old energy just kind of get ironed out from learning how to do that. And for a lot of males, dancing is not a first thing that they want to do. A lot of embarrassment comes up, and the aspect of being vulnerable, of people watching you, comes up. So there's a lot of fear within the masculine paradigm around free movement or dancing. That's something that needs to be eradicated, because you're doing a disservice to yourself. The males who avoid dancing or that type of behavior, because it's so good for your body, it's so good for your mind. Now obviously not everyone's cup of tea, but it is truly helpful. Harmonizes a lot of the difficulties. So, and another really cool message that comes with all of this integration, and we're receiving this high-powered energy from these group healings, from just the energies of the times, is there's a teacher inside of you that wants to come out. A teacher inside of you that exists. And each time you receive this high frequency, high spiritual energy, you are opening the door a little bit more to embody that inherent wisdom from the divine that's inside of you. So each time you receive that energy, you are merging more into the part of yourself that you want to become in this lifetime. That's the beauty of these group healings, because not only are we helping ourselves, but as a collective, when we receive this type of energy, we are making a big splash in the collective pool. Because if you were to imagine the entire humanity, all of the collective consciousness, imagine that as like a swimming pool, and everyone's making waves in the pool. Except that when you have these types of activities of receiving spiritual energy, group healings, that creates an enormous wake that affects the entire pool. And it has a lot more power than if you're just wading around in the water not doing much. But if you're in there creating this force, it has the ability to share the positive wake that spreads to others. So when you join these group healings, it's providing an enormous benefit for the entire whole. Now it's a very difficult concept to understand if you've never done this before, if you've never experienced meditation before, or the deeper journeys that you become, or the deeper experiences that you can have. People always say, oh, it's all about oneness, we're all one. But that's the truth is, many people say it, but you can actually experience it through the higher dimensions of feeling that you are more of a formless aspect of energy. Everyone is. We're all connected to it. And when you realize that oneness, you realize that your charge affects the whole. So when we come together with these very powerful high frequency charges, that spreads so fast, and we're helping so many people. So the teacher inside of you wants out. It's there, and every time you receive this energy, it yields a little bit more of that door to fully embody that part of yourself. So check out some more questions here. I have 2 massage therapy clients. Oh, nice. Yes. That's the funny thing is a massage therapist, once they start getting in tune with spiritual energy, it almost becomes natural that when you start working on a client, your connection to the intuitive movements of how to get deeper into the body or feel what they need, that becomes easier, and it adds a level of effectiveness that wouldn't necessarily be there if you didn't have that spiritual connection. Because that actually happened to me in my practice, almost the reverse of that statement, is that I was doing a lot of non-physical work when I began. And, it'd just be classic. I learned traditional Reiki, but then after I evolved into my own abilities that were waiting for me. And, a lot of it was non-touch, non-physical, but eventually your body has this calling that it needs physical touch. It needs physical stimulation to continue to release the energy that's stuck in the body. And in some cases, the spiritual energy can only go so deep, and it needs help being released through physical stimulation. So massage and body work is something that is very important, especially if you're on the path of ascending your own consciousness. Eventually you will have a time where you will need more of a intuitive body work, we'll call it. So very important, very important. And then you might go back after that and be more non-physical. So pay attention to your body. when you're going down this path. All right. Beautiful message. You're welcome for all the messages. Thanks everyone for all the hearts, all the cares. That's so nice. I love seeing all the hearts. Blast all the hearts away. There we go. That love spreads so much easier. And on that note, pay attention to how we speak to each other, how we speak to ourselves. Be kind to yourselves. Be more compassionate when you make mistakes, when you speak to others. So, because that, it's like there's a bunch of funny memes online. Is when you realize what happens it's like when you realize the power of your voice. You feel almost like a little dagger going into you when you talk bad about yourself or about others. You're just hurting yourself. All of that energy, all of your anger or resentment or shadow feeling, you're just polluting your own field, your own body. So, that would be the most logical reason to stop and clean up your thought forms and clean up your anger, clean up your resentments, those types of energies, because you're just hurting yourself. You're just hurting yourself. So the last thing I wanted to speak on, we had this community group healing. If you want to continue with these group sessions, I have a subscription group, and we have a structured and organized schedule where we receive 2 healings, 2 one-hour healings every month, and they're focused on an expansive energy like we just had for the Lion's Gate, and it's usually followed up by more of a restorative energy, an energy that's going to help us put all the pieces back together when we have these difficult expansionary times. So the subscription group, you can check my website. I think I already have a link on the description at the top. So it's been some of the most powerful times with this group. I couldn't recommend it more. And if anyone wants more information on it, please message out. It honestly, talking about it barely does it justice, because a lot of the techniques that I'm learning, that I'm implementing into the group, they're things that I just learned fairly recently, and I've been healing and doing energy work for the last 6 years. But there was a maturity and there was a wisdom that I needed to be at a certain level of maturity before this type of energy, this type of knowledge came to me. But now that it's here, the experiences everyone's having through these group sessions are just speaking for themselves. I don't take a lot of credit. I stay humble. I stay modest about, what I'm catalyzing, but it truly is a lot of just divine energies that I've just learned how to anchor them a little bit more than the average individual doing this type of work. And that's what's allowing these experiences and the effects that we're all sharing to be just a little bit more effective, to get someone, to have that out-of-body experience, to have that deep cleansing purge of old trauma. Because, the thing I like to tell people the most is that true healing doesn't always feel good. It doesn't always feel the best. And that's what needs to be known more, is that you're going to have to go through the shadows, the dark night of the soul, bringing all that trauma from your life and from your past. You need a big enough charge of catalyst to draw it out of you. Because to make it to the next level of consciousness, your entire existence has to be harmonized. That sounds like a daunting task, but it's not. You can go through your history very quickly because they're connected through the emotional web of our emotional body. And it's like, works at the speed of light. So once you find the emotions that don't feel well in your system, and you heal that one big trauma in your life, it has a cascading effect of helping heal a lot of all of your other traumas. For instance, you get rid of anger, that takes away a lot of your particularly other shadows relating to other emotions or other behaviors. So the group healing, they've been incredible, and we're actually featuring, Megan is going to be featured as the next healer, and she's going to come over and say hello to us right now. She's going to talk about it. She's going to be featured.
That's me. Hello. I'm doing some admin work with the groups on the side here.
So these allergies
Just wanted
are
to pop
killing
in
me.
and show that I Am Real, and I'll be helping out with the Divine Feminine Energy Healing through Joseph's subscription service. So that's on the 18th. So check out the event. We posted the link here in the description, and there's more information about it online. So I hope you guys join. It's going to be some amazing, very heart-based, beautiful energies that we'll be sharing with you. So I look forward to it.
Yes, yes. Megan will be featured. And so a quick comment on the heart-based is what she said. So I wanted to say that there's two ways that people ascend their consciousness. There's only two energies in the body that will allow you to perceive more of reality. Most of us awaken through the third eye, but there's a few of us who awaken through their heart center. Their heart opens. And that center point of the heart can actually ascend your consciousness. You can experience more of reality when you have an open heart. It's the link that many of us need more of, because we are in such a left brain dominant culture that it takes time, it takes choice to be loving. It takes choice to be grateful. So these are all aspects of, so when Megan comes and helps deliver this heart-based frequencies, the divine feminine codes, it's going to be a lot of the earthly bodies. It's going to be a lot of soothing energy that will expand from your chest. And we need it so deeply as a culture to have that comforting, motherly vibe just cover us, just encapsulate us. So I'm really excited for it. She is going to do wonderful. And we're going to actually do another live specifically about that pretty soon.
And it's a good balance to your third eye energies.
Yeah, and it will be in the heart. If you get too overloaded in your third eye, having an open heart will help balance out the top heaviness that can occur, the ungroundedness that can occur. Okay, so let's check out some comments real quick. What we got going on here? Oh, my. You're welcome for all the beautiful, the beautiful messages. You are most welcome. Mindy, you said for the first time, I felt vibrations through physical hugs. Very nice. That's that heart energy opening up, that clairsentience. You can see your energy moving around. Yes, seeing that astral body. Yeah, that definitely happens when you start receiving this energy. It starts to be more dreamlike. Yep. So those are all going to kind of be there as you have your evolution. But when you start seeing your astral body a little bit more, like when you move your hand too fast, you start to see the glow off people. You do want to take time to practice more grounding, because when we have these expansions, your energy does get pulled off of your body a little bit. So you need to practice proper grounding. And eventually, your main priority, and I'm sure this will relate to a lot of people, but eventually, your most important goal is to be grounded. Especially the deeper you get into meditations, the deeper you get into the third eye, you're gonna crave grounding like no one's business. You're gonna put the crystals down. You're gonna put the deep meditations down, and you say, "Oh man, I want to be in nature right now. This is what is soothing to me." So grounding will be a big priority, because the person who's the most grounded has the biggest foundation to hold up the highest spiritual force. So always remember that correlation. Okay, next one. Chanting. Yes, I love chanting. Chanting can be a really powerful way to release a lot of restless energy. I chant almost every single day. It's one of my least talked about behaviors, but I chant all the time. So definitely find yourself some chants. And then Casey Young did the Lionsgate. Oh, not yeah. That's the thing, is like that's the domino effect of having that infusion of high-powered energy, and then going off and meeting people, talking to people, being out in the world, and they feel that change in you. Your harmonic change in yourself has an impact on those you interact with. So that's, and that continues to happen as you go down your path. Take care of your energy. People notice it more. People want to be around you more. And then you gotta set boundaries because you only have a certain amount of energy to give out on a daily basis because you, there's like a deeper need for restoration, for relaxing when when we start to dabble in these higher energies. Oh, right.
Any response to physical purges that occurred in the healing?
Yeah, so a few people had some physical purges within the sessions, and for one, the physical purges, your higher power utilized that catalyst to assist you, to give you this opportunity to release something very, very, very deep, And although nobody wants to go through that type of work of physically purging, but it's something that your body said, like, this is really important. We need to evacuate this toxicity in the most drastic of ways possible. And when that happens, it's almost, unfortunately, we don't want to do it, but at times, that's happened to me one time. I had a really bad physical purge from receiving too much body work, and I felt it in my body, and I said, oh my gosh, I'm going to be sick soon. I can just feel it. But it's the body's way of getting rid of things that it doesn't need. So be strong when that happens, and just have faith, have trust in your divine unwinding. Allergies have been a little tough on me the last couple days. Yeah, Dark Night of the Soul is one of the worst, but one of the most rewarding afterwards. My Dark Night, oh my gosh, it lasted about 2 years. So for those of you who have long dark nights, keep going. Take one step at a time. It does get better. A lot of sensation, top of your head, yes. The crown has been opened. The connection to your divine higher power is happening. So that's really good. It almost feels like a pressure, feels like almost like a brick or something. It's like on your head, and you have it just kind of pressing down. So that is your crown chakra being opened. And when that pressure gets too strong, you can always gently place your focus back under your feet. So hold that sensation at your head, and just gently put a little bit of your energy under your feet. Always have your feet in the equation. You could be holding or meditating with a crystal. You could be doing some smudging. You could be doing chanting even. Keep your feet, keep your lower body in, be cognizant of that. So I think that about wraps it up, everyone. If you have any questions, check out the group healing. We still have a couple spaces left for a discounted rate. It's only $33 a month for the 2 hours of healing. I'm going to be adding value to the group, adding live chats, discussion, support, and feedback as you go through your evolution process. Check out some of the testimonials. There's some on my webpage, and there's also some testimonials on my Google business page. If you Google Joseph Adams Healing, there's a lot of really cool feedback from there. I think I'll be able to tag that in the comments too if anyone wants to check it out. So, all right, everyone. It was really nice talking with everyone. I hope you'll have a nice evening, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. So, thanks again.